Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Gerbil and this is the Galaxy Last Week for August 21st. Right up here is the schedule of what we're going to talk about in today's show. There's a lot of fun things. I've got some personal twists to put on some of this, some happiness, some concerns, some celebrations, and at the bottom of it is a pro tip right here about Datacrons. Whether you like or hate them, this is something you should consider because it can make your Datacron journey through madness a little bit less maddening. All right, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So starting off the top, we got Jabba the Hutt, Set 2 requirements hit the internet, and a lot of people are saying it's pretty generous. It's pretty generous. Look, C-3PO, Han Solo, we already had, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Okay, I'm gonna actually step that back for a little bit and not try to be negative, but it's not as generous as people are thinking. See, when you go scrape the data over at SWGOH.gg and you look at the relic levels of the community at large, 3 of these new 5 characters are in the bottom 2 to 230 range. There are 230 characters in the game. Jawa is the 200th least geared character. Is the 214th least character, and Skiff Guard, well, just came out, so he's 229th. So actually, that's pretty stiff. And then as far as C-3PO goes, if you don't have C-3PO, of course you got to get the Ewoks, which I love. They are my favorite, but I know many of you don't feel that way. And then of course you got to get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, who, well, the gearing, not the gearing, but the journey quest to get him is pretty serious. So it makes sense to have Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker in there. He of course led to Jabba's demise. C-3PO I don't get. I mean, he was gifted for all of what, like a couple of days into Jabba's service as a protocol droid, so that doesn't really make sense to me. Nonetheless, they are what they are, and we got the Skiff Guard from Lando, which a lot of us thought was coming, and we got him, and I think that's fantastic. But in terms of Set 3, what's coming in Set 3, here are 2 of my predictions on the screen, actually 3 of them. I've been saying since the beginning we're probably going to get Bib Fortuna. I think he's going to be the next marquee character for Jabba. If not, probably going to get him down the road as a conquest character. I don't know, but he should definitely be there. But then we also have Mob Enforcer, who's in the game as the 221st least geared character, remember, out of 230. And we got IG-86, who has absolutely no point and purpose in this game whatsoever, which makes a great monetization opportunity for Capital Games. We'll see what happens. I hope I'm wrong about IG, but I think Mob Enforcer is definitely going to be in there. Would love to see a kit update to that also. All right, moving right along, Skiff Guard. So I'm not going to talk about him. You can go check out the dev kit reveal inside. A lot of people have already done great videos about it. You can already find some showcase vids online where people have played him at low star all the way up to Relic 7. And he looks like he's going to be a pretty good character. He's not the fastest, given his ability to just give another character an extra turn. I think that's a very good decision that he's not the fastest. His base speed is 158. Just out of comparison, Gen Ursa is like 188, I think. And like the new Inquisitors are mostly 186 or 183, I don't remember. So he's definitely not the fastest, but I think that he's going to be a fantastic plug-and-play character in a lot of different squads. But it's early, right? What is noteworthy is in the developer insider, they said that he is our, quote, first Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary celebration character. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know I've been talking about the 40th anniversary is next year, and signs have been leading up towards that. And then especially with the Andor series coming, which is all about the rise of the rebellion and leading up to Rogue One, which of course takes us right into A New Hope. And then we've also got the Ahsoka series, which is more and more kind of a Rebels Season 5. It's a continuation of the Rebels show. So 2023 is looking like it's going to be all Empire Rebels. And as that's the faction I love, I'm crossing my fingers that's true. I love Rebels and Empire, so hope we get there. They also said, though, that he's the second of 3 new marquee characters needed to unlock the newest GL, Jabba, which means we only have 1 more marquee requirement. That, of course, does mean we have 3 marquees you need for the GL, so unless you are whaling or hoarded a lot of gear, it's going to be really hard to get him anytime soon, but that's okay. He'll be in the journey guide. Get there when you're ready. Again, I think Bib Fortuna will be that 3rd. But we know there are other marquees coming. I really believe Rogue One is going to get a marquee soon, and yes, believe it or not, I think we're going to get an Ewok. Why? Stay tuned, but I think a TB Andor is coming very soon, maybe even announced next month. Territory Battles Andor. It totally makes sense. It lines right up to the 40th anniversary, and I think we're gonna see some Rebel Empire Ewok action. Stay tuned. All right, now about the Skiff Guard. I said I don't want to talk about his kit, but if you recall last episode, I mentioned I was a little concerned about these animations right here. They're kind of the same. A Shadow Within and the Family Legacy. 2 animations on the same character, almost identical. Now, interestingly, there's a slight timing difference. They don't quite line up, and they are not the same, but they are super close. However, watch what happens with the recently released Lando Skiff Guard, Double Dealer and Hutt's Favorite. Did you see a difference there? Watch carefully. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, shoot. The only real difference I can discern is that in Double Dealer, there is a little ship that passes by in the background that's not there in Hutt's Favor. Now, I know that's the environment, but it's worth observing. Something else that is interesting in there is that even though the ship is not in Hutt's favor, the land underneath it is distorted with a shadow where it would have been. So I think that they literally took the same animation and just removed that background ship and called it a new animation. Watch what happens when we superimpose Hutt's Favor over Double Dealer. So right here, I've taken the Hutt's Favor, put it over Double Dealer, and I've dropped the opacity about 60% so that we can see the 2 videos in sync. I'm gonna hit play and watch this. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, shoot. No shadowing, no ghosting. That means that these are identical actions from the model. Did you see that? Look at Boba Fett, look at Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, look at R2-D2's heads. Those are different. You can see the ghosting and shadowing effects there. But Lando, they're the same. So CG in 2 of the last 2 kit releases is using and recycling almost identical animations. And in this case, I think they are identical. And what does that mean? It means that they are not investing time into the characters they're releasing. And in fact, the skin on this Skiff Guard has already been in the game for a very long time. I think you can actually come across it in a couple different places, I think. So it does worry me that there's a lot of speculation, people saying that CG is not investing in the game. I actually think they are. I think that they're just skimping on character animations, and that does make me sad because we only do 2 things in this game. We battle and we farm. That's it. And we farm so that we can battle. So that's where the greatest things should be happening, because that's the end point. That's the yes, a moment of entertainment and satisfaction, right? Of course, we also get the thrill out of winning and battling, but when the battle becomes mundane and we see the same repetitive actions too many times, it loses its interest, it loses its spark. And so this does give me more cause for concern than a lot of the other rumors and speculations, because again, these are identical actions or identical animations right there. And that's very disappointing. Anyway, moving on. September calendar came. Mon Mothma is the login character for the month, which is neat. That will coincide nicely with the Andor TV series coming out. And if you don't know, spoiler alert, Mon Mothma has a very big role in the Andor series. So that's obviously not a coincidence, which is why I think we will also be getting Andor related content very soon, leading into 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. There's nothing interesting in this calendar that I observed. It's pretty much stock as it always is. Rebels are going first in territory battles. Rebels are going first in assault battles, just like they were last month. So it's kind of rinse and repeat. We got 2 Radis, 2 Finalizer events. We always have those. Again, Executor is on the middle of the month on the 15th, which if they want to keep Profundity and Executor kind of away from each other, makes sense that Profundity, whenever that happens, would be at the beginning or the very end of a month, which, that's in a week. Now, I really thought, like most people, it was going to happen back around the 12th, 11th, 12th. Didn't get it. But there is a data mine that says that a bunch of Rebel kits or bundles are coming to the store next week around the 27th, I think. So that might be the time that it happens. Who knows? Total speculation. Moving on. Bugs. CG's been totally stepping up the bug fixes. It's worth noting that there are 2 bugs that got fixed you need to know about. Both of them are Conquest related. Man, are they quick to fix the bugs that work in our favor. IG-88 now counts for the never underestimated droid. That's a good one. Actually, that does work in our favor. You can now use IG-88 in that Conquest event where you need the feat for the no separatist. But the other one, Enemy Inquisitorius Purge, no longer counts towards Imperial Inquisitor feat. If you weren't aware, you could actually just time out a match against Inquisitors and it would give you all of the stacks of purge that they applied towards your feat. It was a great little trick. However, also on the forums, they did a really nice little post. Props to CG for this. I would love to see them do more of this kind of thing, where they talked about the missing buttons, and they said it's actually a culmination of a variety of different bugs and conditions, and they're asking for user feedback. If you know when this happens to you, they would love it if you would report it, give them that information so they can help find the causes. Anyway, that's good. Good job, CG. Moving beyond the devs, in the community, Serges, if you don't know him, he's got a really decent channel, been in the game, I think, since the beginning. Does a podcast on the HoloNet News Network, HNN, with Celiac Sarah, Vox, and a bunch of others. And, well, he's retiring from the podcast. And he's considering retiring from the game. Bunch of reasons why, but if you want to see his last flash show with Sarah, you can check it out. There's a link below in the descriptions. Wish him well. Good job, Serges, in reclaiming your time. And we'll miss you. Also on the community, this one comes to us from Zareth. He did, I thought, a very interesting video that I very much agree with, that mixed teams is the new normal, and he relates it to a card building deck game like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. I totally 100% agree with this. There was a time when you pretty much wanted your factions to stay all light side, dark side, all one faction, but you know, more and more that's just not a thing. And that does pose some potential problems, especially in like Conquest, where we have all these feats, you know, do 20 of these, 40 of this, or whatever, and yet we're kind of mixing and matching everywhere else. So I don't know how that's going to look as we go down the road even further, but I think he's absolutely right, and y'all should check out his vid for a lot more in-depth discussion about that. Moving on, over on Arnold's channel, finally said that right first time, he did a video this week where he presented what he said were all teams ranked. It's obviously not all teams, because there's probably a million combinations you can make or more with 230 characters, but a lot of teams, and he ranks them in this beautiful chart. There's a link again in the description to his video, and he's got a link there to this graphic that he provides. I'll let you get it from his site because I don't want to steal traffic. I think it's a really, 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 really good tool for people who are trying to figure out the best teams to aim for, and fundamentally I agree with this ranking. I think that he's spot on for the most part. Obviously, he knows this game a lot better than I do. I mean, he's dedicated to this 24/7, it feels. There are, of course, a couple of things that I would disagree with, as would, I think, anybody, based on our own personal experiences and biases. So I'm not saying he's wrong, not at all. I'm saying that my experiences have shared a few things that are different. For example, Radis, I don't think he should be in that the third column there, Erodium. I think he's more Chromium. Like, I have extensively tested Radis, but he does have bays, and I have not done that. I actually am really wondering, though, if the way to go with Radis is with 3 tanks. I thought it was 2. I have not tested bays because mine sucks, but K2, Scarif, and bays with Jin and Radis. That might be the way to go, and I've not seen anybody do that. See, it's a team that just wins by surviving longer. The longer they survive, seems the better off they are. So that might be interesting. Anyway, I also, of course, don't think Ewoks should be Chromium. I mean, we need to push them right up there to Kyber, right? I mean, they're Ewoks. The furry side of the Force is where the real power is, folks, I'm telling you. Anyway, sarcasm and my personal feelings. Hey, beyond the tables, there are 2 new Star Wars books that just got announced. Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars. It kind of tells a story between 2 video games following Kyle Kestis. If you don't know the character, he was kind of spoiled or leaked. The name was included in the Kenobi TV series. He's a very popular character among I don't want to say a niche, but a large faction of the Star Wars fan base. And the book kind of also made tie into a TV show announced for end of next year, I think. Also, we're getting a full color, large hardback book that is going to document and present the development of Jedi Survivor. And it's going to have like concept drawings, and like if you're into design, animation, Hollywood, that kind of stuff, this is like going to be probably a really, really cool book to check out. Just thought I'd share it real quick. Next up, Star Wars Summer Vacation came out a couple weeks ago on Disney Plus. I thought it was righteously funny. You all should check it out. Over on StarWars.com, they shared 20 Easter eggs that you may have missed. I'm not going to spoil them except for one that I thought was fantastic. I did miss it, but that is Weird Al Yankovic right there. You may know him from, obviously, all the parody songs he's done, but he's been a big Star Wars fan, and this is his Star Wars debut. He did the parody of Miss American Pie, you know, Bye Bye Mr. Anakin guy, and he did, of course, the Star Wars Cantina song. So I think this was fantastic, and yeah, he's in Lego Summer Vacation Star Wars. Anyway, check it out. Links down below to learn more if you want. Profundity. Where is Profundity? Who knows, but I just got my R9 on Admiral Radis, my one and only Relic 9. So if this ship is not worth it, I'm going to be righteously disappointed. Like, more so than ever before. Related to the game, of course. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but stay tuned. All right? And, all right, pro tip. Datacrons. Datacron. So whether you like or hate them, they're here, and they're probably not going to go away. So here's the thing. I completed my Red Crate Conquest a day or 2 ago, and I'm like, well, what do I do now? Don't need to spend any more crystals for refresh, or do I? So for an experiment, I did a couple 50 crystal refreshes. I went to the Sector 4 node. That's where I think I had the best probability of getting the Cody Mark II materials, which I need a lot of. And so I played 6 matches in a row, and I just used Admiral Radis' team out of just play, testing, and curiosity, and then I switched to CLS, full auto, both of them, no problem. These are the rewards, way over on the far side, that I got for those 6 matches. Remember, this cost 50 crystals. Now, if you pull it up, it's 39 Mark 1s, 24 Mark 2s, 15 Mark 3s. Makes sense, you know, from small to big. And the 300,000 of the whatever currency. Now, down in the store, if you go to the store, if you are buying these with crystals, you're paying 5 crystals each for the Mark 1, 8 crystals each for the Mark 2, and 24 crystals each for the Mark 3s. What I got in this attempt adds up to be 747 crystals worth of Datacron crap. So if you are buying them with crystals, you're saving a little bit of time, but you're also spending, what is that? 15 times the cost to farm it in the store. I mean, that's a 15-to-1 ratio right there. So whether you're trying to get that red crate or not, I think you should, if you want Datacrons, or if you want to level them, you definitely need to spend a little bit of time on those end nodes farming these materials. And I think that 4th is probably the best one. It's just my opinion. It's the one with the Tuscans. I think it's a lot easier than the others too. But beyond that, yes, you can buy some of these materials with ally points and shard shop currencies, but this is easy. And especially if you've completed the conquest, you've got your red crate, and you're sitting there with 2 or 3 days left, and you're like, what do I do now? Still do your 50 crystal refreshes at least, once, maybe 3 times. Obviously, even at 100 crystals, it's still well worth it in terms of acquiring the gear. All it takes is more time. So what I do pretty much is when I'm brushing my teeth, I just hit play, auto, set it down, pick it up, okay, join, play, auto, set it down. And it's easy, right? It takes seconds and you get all this stuff. All right, last thing in today's episode is the horizon. What's coming up down the road? Well, obviously Andor, and then this month, September the 28th, I can do that, 8 fingers, we got Bad Batch Season 3 dropping. I know a lot of people are stoked about that. And to round out the month, nothing really spectacular. So this was August Burns Red, and I'm still wondering what the hell burned other than the Earth, because it's hot outside. And where's Profundity? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.